Hello and welcome back to another weekly vlog. This week's going to be a little bit different to previous weeks. I've had a really busy week. Just lots going on. So my work has been busy. I've also been doing work outside of work that has had a strict deadline this week, which has been quite busy, and just some rubbish things happening around the house. We had a blocked sink on Tuesday, so I had to get the plungers out and try and clear that, and that took hours to get that to clear. The internet went down on Wednesday night. It's just been one of those weeks. I started off with a bank holiday here in the UK on Monday, so I don't think I ever really got into it, and that led to me on Thursday night. What a brilliant race that we had, and then I realised afterwards that I'd forgotten to press the record button, and it just summed up the first few days of this week, to be honest. So just for time constraints and everything that I've been dealing with this week, this is just going to be a quick weekly summary, but normal service will be resumed next week with Zwift content and all of that stuff. But yeah, unfortunately none of that today. But that being said, I have had a really good week on the bike. I've achieved 113 kilometres this week, which is far exceeds last week, 102 last week. So it was another 10 kilometres. I did the Tour of Watopia Stage 2A ride on Monday, on Bank Holiday Monday, and it nearly beat me. I tell you, it nearly beat me. It's been a long time since I've been up the mountain, and I didn't expect to start in Titans Grove. For some reason, I didn't properly look at what the route was, and I didn't appreciate how hilly Titans Grove was. So, we're starting off there. We made our way up to the mountain, got up the mountain, obviously had to do the radio tower climb, which just feels like you're standing still sometimes, and that was the bit that I nearly broke. I was a bit of a mess by that point. Managed to do it, managed to get round. Just that surprise again when we got back round to Titans Grove, thinking, "Oh my God, we've got to get up this hill again." But I did it, and I am really pleased I did it. But what it has done is it's flagged to me how I'm not at the level that I used to be at. I've done that mountain a few times with various different rides, sometimes on my own, and I was nowhere near the time. And I didn't have it in my legs to push as much as I have done before. So whilst I feel I've done a lot and done very well since January, it's kind of highlighted to me that I'm not where I was before, and I've got quite a way to go to get to that. So I was a bit disheartened after the ride, to be honest, because I felt I shouldn't have struggled as much as that. But I just had a bit of a think about it afterwards, and I realised it's probably to be expected. My worry is some of the other Tour of Watopia stages also go up that mountain. So hopefully this is good preparation for having to do it again. Then on Thursday, it was our first TT race as a team. It was an interesting experience. So our normal group races have had very close finishes, and obviously they're very different to TTs. And the TT race seemed to have a lot more gaps between finishes. And there were a lot of the people and the feedback in the Facebook group is people were just given everything they could to it and were really feeling it at the end. And the feedback that we were getting, that we've penciled that in to do once a month. And I think that's probably right. And I think everybody agreed that once a month for a TT is probably okay. It was great fun, and one thing I've struggled to understand is the race that I did a few weeks ago that I feel was probably my best ever race was in Richmond on the Fan Flats, and to stay with the group and ride with the group and be there right at the end when we crossed the finish line, that meant a lot to me. And I looked at the stats for the TT race on Thursday night, which was around the London Classic course, Similar, not quite the same. It was lower level of average watts, but similar. Yeah, I was left miles behind. I just couldn't keep up with the guys in front. And I found it a real struggle. And I even felt to myself during it, I thought, this is really hurting. I'm having an off day today. But I looked back at the power numbers and I realised it wasn't too far off before. It was just came as a bit of a surprise, really. There must be some sort of different dynamics in TT races. But that aside, I really enjoyed it. It was good to get a different kind of race in, mix things up a bit. And I think the general consensus is, yes, it was good, but we'll stick to doing that once a month. Then on Friday, I decided I was going to jump on. It was spur of the moment. I had a friend mention to me that he was jumping on to do the Tour of Watopia Week 3 B ride. And there was a moment I wasn't going to be able to join because I had a work meeting, but it got cancelled at the last minute. So I thought, I'm going to jump on and do this. I didn't really think about anything. Didn't think about setting up any cameras or anything. Just jumped on and did that. And it's so weird because I felt so much stronger than I did the night before, and that was less than 24 hours later. I thought to myself, I'm going to do this just as a sort of recovery ride, take it easy. But that never seems to happen. It never happens. The friend I was riding with, there's a little climb in that to the top. He came flying past me and disappeared. And as we were going around the bottom of the mountain pass thing, I thought, I'm going to try and catch him. And I felt strong. I felt really good, putting out a good number of watts for me. Nearly caught him up as we were going downhill, and then we got to the bottom and he disappeared again. But the intention of taking that easy didn't kind of happen. But it was another stage done, and I do want to try this week to go back and do the A ride of stage 3 to try and do them all if I can. And then today is actually Saturday afternoon. I didn't mention it at the start. Saturday afternoon. And we've had the group ride flat route this week, which was really nice. About 20 of us having a good chat on Discord like we normally do, and on the chat on Zwift. And I really enjoy those during the week because it's just a catch up, really. It's the opportunity to have a conversation with everybody and see everyone's week is and discuss strange things like we do. This week's topic, we spoke for quite a while about music. And The Prodigy, which is one of my favourite bands. So yeah, that was a great chat. And if you do come along to do a group ride, there's a couple of people who come along and they just log into Discord to listen, because it makes the time go really quickly. All the group rides seem to fly by, and I love them. They're great fun. So total kilometres this week, 113, up on last week. I'm really pleased with that. A huge highlight this week for me is another spur of the moment decision. Because of what the problems I'd had not recording the race on Thursday, some of the guys couldn't make the race on Thursday night because they were away for work, and they said that they were going to jump on Friday night and do it. And I just thought, why don't we test a live stream? I've not done a live stream ever before. I've never set one up. I've never run a chat. I literally never done any of it. I wasn't even sure my camera would connect to my computer, all of that sort of stuff. So I just said to them, do you mind if I do a live stream? And at the last minute, thanks to Chris actually for logging on to Discord and you just being there while we made sure everything worked. And I managed to feed the Discord server through the software to send it to YouTube as well. So it was really good. And I just threw a message up on YouTube at the last minute to say, I'm going to give this a go. Come along if you want to chat. And I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was great fun. I know I wasn't riding, but to watch the guys on the stream on the screen doing a race on Zwift and chat with the people in the YouTube chat was so much fun. And we could also, nearer the start, we could talk to the guys who were riding, but they were burying themselves trying to get good times, so they weren't talking too much on there. But the setup works, and I'm trying to think of a way to turn that into something going forward. I love the idea that I can interact with you guys in ways other than just on Facebook posts and on this. But I don't know. I've thought about possibly putting on a weekly meetup or something if people want to ride, and then you can join the chat. I don't know. I'll have a think about that over the next couple of days, because I think it's just another thing we could possibly do. And I'm not suggesting it's a regular thing, because I can't commit every week to saying, yep, I'm going to be sat at my desk at 8 o'clock every Friday night to do a live stream. But there's something there I think that might work. And if you go back to watch it, it's on the YouTube channel. I'd skip forward the first 10 to 15 minutes because I was there was this awkward moment where everybody on YouTube could hear Discord, but I couldn't hear the Discord server for some reason through the software. And I was talking over the guys talking on Discord. They were trying to get my attention. And it was just a bit of a mess. And obviously YouTube records the whole thing, so it's caught that. So I fixed it in the end. So if you're going to watch it back, skip probably 10, 15 minutes into it. And we just have a chat about general things, really. It was really good fun. I really enjoyed it. Maybe that will become more regular. And on the topic of doing those races, so Chris and Dave were the guys that couldn't do it on Thursday night. Unfortunately, Dave couldn't make it on Friday, but Chris did it for the first time. Set himself a good time, and then Noel and Andy also jumped on, and both of them have done it the night before. So massive thumbs up for doing that 2 days in a row with very similar times. I know Noel did it quicker, and Andy did it in a very similar time to the day before. So yeah, that's brilliant to do it 2 days in a row. I contemplated getting on, but then the thought of doing a live stream while sat on my desk was much more appealing. And then, so moving on to next week, I'd like to do Tour of Watopia Stage 3A. Looking probably to do that tomorrow, Monday at the latest, because obviously it moves on to Stage 4. So the other ride I'd like to do next week is Stage 4A. That one goes, that's the big loop. It goes up the mountain without doing the radio tower, thankfully, and round the jungle. I hate the jungle. Oh, that's a horrible route. It feels like you're wading through treacle in the jungle. It might feel better if I could stay towards the front. And as I'm saying that, I'm realising I'm not going to stay towards the front or in the group, because we're going up the mountain. So I'll be at the back on my own by the time we hit the jungle. So that will be relatively difficult, but not, touch wood, as difficult as Stage 2 was. And then we got a race on Thursday. That's back to a normal race. So the schedule is normal race, TT, normal race, handicap, which we're still discussing what that actually means. And then we've got a special towards the end of April. And then obviously the group ride on Saturday, which is a hilly route this week. I don't know how hilly it will be. I will take a look and put a couple of options up on the Facebook group today, obviously before this video comes out, so you'll know the results of that before. And then, you know, if you're new to the channel, I know this isn't a normal video, but if you are new and want to come along on those rides, join a Facebook group, join a Discord server, sign up to Spond or sign up to the group rides or the races and come along. You know, every week we get a few new people coming along and interacting in the different forms of places of social media that we've got. So come along and join in. Don't be afraid. Come and do it. Come and do it with us. And yeah, aside from that, that's kind of this week's summary. Normal service resume next week on the videos. But for now, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next week.